there's been more than a couple of episodes, and even like more recently, as I talked to other founders, that this whole thing about starting out and being naive was to their benefit. And I know it was to my benefit when I started out. Like, I think if I would have known was to know the amount of challenges and how difficult it was going to be before I did it, probably would have prevented me from doing it. But there's something in the innocence of starting something when you don't know too much, that you come from a place of curiosity, and you come from a place of, well, how bad could it be? Because you don't even know what you don't know. And I think that innocence helps carry us through in that very beginning, where a lot of people get scared off if they know too much.
Oh, absolutely. And in this industry, I'm be honest, coffee shops are like the telephone game. You just
Right.
go online, you ask them what they put in this, what they put in that, and then all of a sudden you literally have the same recipes. We started from scratch. We started from obviously a palate that knew nothing about coffee but learned from it. And I think then being a novice helped us because everyone's like, what do you guys put in this stuff? It's so different from everyone else because it literally is different from everyone else because we didn't have anywhere to start from. Someone who didn't know coffee developed your Vino.
That's amazing.
It's pretty
All right,
cool.
Eric. So I want to ask you this. Obviously, you both were total alignment to start this. What did friends and family have to say when you told them you're opening a coffee business, considering the amount of coffee businesses that are, out there?
Yeah, I want to say, our friends and family are conservatives, right? So they are not very risk averse. So it's always like, what if this happens? I'm not sure I would go all in on that. Are you going to spend all of your, savings on this? So it was a lot of conversations around there. But if you know me and Destiny, one of the things we're risk takers. I'll roll it all on black quick. You know what I mean? Because another superpower that I have is me and Destiny went through a very dark time in our life and we lost everything and we rebuilt it from losing everything. And what that taught me is as long as I'm alive, like I can rebuild. You know what I mean? Like you give me breath in my lungs, I will go remake it. I will go recreate it. So we going all in. So if I was listening to my friends and family, I probably wouldn't have started this, but me and Destiny, we stick to each other. Like, she's got my back. I got her back.
Oh, that's so sweet. Destiny, what do you remember about friends and family and starting this up?
I mean, they were real supportive. Like I said, we sat there and I talked so much with names and me and my brother-in-law, we looked at so many fonts that the normal eye, like they literally are all the same. We're like, no, the spelling is different. But it was community. It was hearsay in the community. We're from a small town, about 6,000 people. There was not a coffee shop. And so, I mean, there was no sayers. There were people like, yeah, good luck. There's a reason there's not a coffee shop here, anyways. And that was the moment where I was like, hold my beer. I'm an absolute rebel. I'm going to make this work no matter what. And it's going to be way bigger than this small town mentality.
Wow. I am always going to bet on you two. You two, you guys are my people. Seriously. I would always bet on you.
Yeah.
Wow. Starting up something, of course, is never easy. We do have challenges. One of the things I love talking about on my show, and I talk about at my events and stuff, is in a very transparent and unfiltered way about things that don't go right. And I think there's lessons there. I would be wondering if you guys be willing to share maybe something when you started up that didn't go perfect and you figured it out. Any challenges or mistakes that were made along the way in the beginning?
We've got plenty.
Yeah, we probably both have our own how we see it. But for me, it was partnerships, right? So when we first started out, I kind of mentioned that we started out by licensing our brand and you don't know what you don't know, right?
Yeah.
Like I didn't even understand the concept of licensing franchise. I just know that franchise cost a lot of money that I didn't have because we bootstrapped the entire thing. So I went with licensing deals. Well, what I realized is by partnering with the wrong person will make you go backwards way faster than you went forward, right? So basically we had these partnerships where we realized that the people that we brought on through, and it was only one, I had one bad license deal, right? And this license deal, this person come in and they did not have the same values as us because me and Destiny, above all, we are energy people. We like to be around people that are going to have the same energy, that we're all going to thrive. We're going to have positive attitudes. We're going to see the glass is half full. When you bring somebody in that is a negative person and they don't see life like that, it's almost like an energy vampire, right? And not only that, I realized that you don't have protections in your brand by doing licensing. So partnering with the wrong people was a very important and early lesson that we were able to learn.
Destiny, what about you?
Yeah, I would agree. Partnerships were the biggest, kind of issues in the beginning, but anything that we do, like Eric said, we roll the dice pretty quickly. And so by the time you're thinking about making a partnership and maybe scaling, we've did it 10 times and screwed up 9. And so I love it because it's an L, but it was a learning experience. It definitely wasn't a loss. Like there's no hard feelings there because now our next deal, we immediately become a franchise. And then our vetting process is so extensive. They come down, they drive or fly down, we go to dinner. I don't care about like all my shop stuff. I just want to vibe check you. Like would I go on a 10-hour road trip with you? Do I mind eating dinner with you? That's my people. And that's the partnerships that I want in my company. We tell people no way more. Our salesperson is probably like, yes, amen. We tell people no way more than we tell people yes, because we know that we're still a baby. Yeah, we might have 7 locations, but we are in this nurturing part where I am so concerned about building my core group of people. And I want us all to have different gifts and talents. I mean, I want you to come to my franchise because I want to be support too. But what value are you bringing my core table? Because in 10 years, we're all going to be sitting at that round table. And I have to have people with different experiences and skills and talents at that table.
Absolutely. You know what I don't feel like enough franchisors talk about is the fact that the reason why we all franchise is it's a way of expanding our business. But we don't necessarily position that in our franchise opportunity. And so people that are coming into our franchise are really coming into our home. Mm-hmm. And we know we're working with them and we're a partnership. But to your point, you have 7 franchise owners, like they will make or break your business of the future. And that's why we always talk about that first 12 franchise owners, the first dozen are just so important culturally to making sure they're a right fit. And we know we do not hit a home run every time out. I know I had a bunch of strikeouts early on because, quite honestly, I thought the person that was right for my business was somebody that loves sports and kids, and I didn't think about the business acumen. And so the same for your business. Just because you love coffee has nothing to do with the business, whether you're going to be successful or not, as you know.
That's so funny you say that because honestly, if they're like, oh my gosh, I've always dreamed of having a coffee shop, we're like, nope, next. It's not, it really isn't a core. I just lost half of our sellers, Eric, sorry. But it really isn't like, I don't want you to say that. Like, I want you to be community centered. I want you to be able to provide for your family. I want you to be able to have a servant heart to not just serve coffee, but to serve people at a different level, to really serve them light and love and let them see that through your hard work. Like that's who we are.
Thank you for tuning into the Emerging Franchise Brands podcast. For additional insights, guest applications, and to stay connected, visit us at efbpodcast.com. The Emerging Franchise Brands podcast is for entertainment purposes only, and the views expressed do not necessarily represent those of Emerging Franchise Brands, its host Frank Fumey, or Emerging Franchise Group LLC. Any discussed franchise or investment opportunity requires thorough investigation, obtaining proper disclosure documents, and expert consultation before making any investment decisions. The podcast and its host do not offer professional advice or endorsements, and they hold no responsibility for actions, representations, accuracy, or consequential damages related to the podcast content.